Okay, Hadaya, I really do appreciate this interview. This is really great, and I am learning a lot about this. And I want to ask you about the domestic violence in the Islamic community. And I was told, there is a problem about that. And I want to know, how do you deal with the domestic problem in the Islamic community?
From a personal standpoint, I am a survivor.
Oh.
So I understand what happens to someone in our community once they've been abused and they try to seek help. It was in the mid-90s and all is well. Okay?
Okay.
I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me. I don't
Okay.
need anybody feeling sorry for me. I'm okay.
Okay.
And other survivors are okay or they will be okay.
Okay.
You put Allah first.
That's right.
We have a huge problem. We are in a huge state of denial about the problem. However, the silver lining inside the storm cloud is that we're beginning as a collective to face this problem more. There's less shoving it under the rug. Now, we have a long way to go. We have a lot of work to do, but we are making progress in at least talking about it. 2 weeks ago, we hosted a program in one of the largest communities, Islamic communities in Metro Atlanta, and we had South Asian Muslims involved. We had North African Muslims involved, Caucasian, African American. About 5 different Islamic communities were involved. We had our leaders involved, men were involved. 13 years ago, you could not have done that. That would just be unheard of. So we're making good strides, and we need to make more. We have this problem, and a lot of it is due to misinterpretation of the Quran. And then another part of it is we have people, not unlike other people around the world, who just have some problems.
Yeah.
Some people feel they're more entitled than others. And when people have this feeling and they are kind of like coddled, like you coddle a child that has bratty behavior, instead of correcting the behavior, it grows. But we are facing it, and we are fighting it, and we're standing firm with it. So there's been great improvement in our community.
Okay. Well, so with a lot of the people that comes over from other countries, a lot of women, they really don't have equal rights in those countries. So do you get more problems from the people from overseas, or is it Americans, or is it just like it doesn't matter?
It really doesn't matter.
Oh,
it's a little different, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
In this country, and I can't remember the stats off the top of my head, but every minute you have several women hurt in this country in their homes. And this is women who have rights and freedoms that other women do not enjoy. So although maybe the problem looks more severe in other countries, it's just different. You have the problem here. Yeah, and it's a real bad problem, along with other assaults of women outside of the home. So women in this country do not need to be under a false sense of, I'm okay.
Right.
There's maybe, the legal system is more open to us, but we are just in as much danger as women overseas, and in some cases it's worse. Because the way our society is so open and so free, many times women find themselves in situations more often that they can be taken advantage of and can be hurt. So a lot of times people want to think, well, it's the Middle East has the biggest problem, or Pakistan, or North Africa, or West Africa. No, it's the same problem, just a little different. Another language is spoken, another culture is in place, but it's a horrific problem around the world, and there isn't one country that can say we're free of it.
Right, you're right about that. Okay, that's great news. I want to ask about the clients who have experienced domestic violence. Have any of them experienced really extreme danger, or, do they feel like their lives are threatened now?
Of course.
So you still feel that?
Yes, many people who come to us in the Islamic community, the second before they came to us, they could have been brutally beaten, to include being raped. And that's a very difficult subject for us as a community of faith,
Right.
because people cannot put together rape and marriage. How can a man be married to a woman and rape her? Yes, it happens.
Right.
So yes, many of our clients come to us. We have to take extraordinary measures for their safety, especially the first few weeks that they've left. Because once a woman leaves, the secret's out.
Right.
Okay, people see people coming to the masjid together. Then they don't see them coming to the masjid together. They don't see the children. Maybe the children are in an Islamic school. And, okay, the children aren't coming to the school anymore. The sister's not coming to the school to volunteer or whatever. It's obvious that something's wrong. And then eventually someone's going to start asking questions. So women are in just as much danger or more danger, and it doesn't matter if they're Muslim or whatever, when they leave an abusive home. This also includes if there wasn't physical violence in the home, but maybe verbal abuse, economic abuse, and the woman leaves. Sometimes her leaving can prompt physical violence, to happen if she's not in a safe environment.
Okay. So all of your clients that have come to you who were abused, they are now in a safe haven. None of them have gone back to their husbands, and I've seen this happen. Women, their husbands will say, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I won't do it again," and they go right back to them, and they're getting abused all over again.
Yeah. Some of our clients have gone back in the 13 years that we've been, and that's one of the downfalls or pitfalls of this business.
Yeah.
You can only provide the information, the opportunity for someone to be safe.
Yeah.
They have to decide when they're ready to be safe. We haven't kept records because we don't keep outsourcing type records. But I would say about maybe 1/3 of the people who've come to us for help have returned.
Okay.
And many of those who have returned once have left again. So it's not unusual for us to get a phone call from someone we helped in 1999, in 2001, and they're in trouble again. We can help them however we can help them. And then we get a call from them in 2003. Sometimes it's the same perpetrator, sometimes they have remarried.
Wow.
And that's the pitfall of this business. That's why, as an advocate, we have to stay balanced. You can only, this is something my great aunts used to say, you can only lead a horse to the water, you can't make the horse drink.
That's true.
When people are ready to be safe, when they're ready to put their values where they should be, and that's when we focus on Allah. When we make anything else equal to Allah or above Allah, that's when we get in trouble.
You're right about that. I want to ask about do you counsel the men who are abusive toward their wives? Do they get counseling, how to treat them better?
The few that will submit to that, we refer them to counselors who work with us.
Okay.
We have an organization, well actually it's an initiative within our group called Muslim Men Against Domestic Violence.
Okay.
And that particular group works with men on all levels, men who are not violent toward their wives, men who are, to teach what violence against women and girls is, how it begins, how it is nurtured, and how to prevent it, and how to stop it. And the few men who will open up and say, yes, I'm this way and I want help, we refer them to professional counselors for their problem.
Okay, this is really good news because, everyone needs to know about this because you never know who is getting abused out there. And you reach out to other communities as well. Just anyone who is experiencing domestic violence, you just reach out to them and let them know.
Yes, we are listed with the United Way on their helpline.
Okay.
Once you get listed on their helpline, other organizations find out about you, and people call us from everywhere, from all walks of life.
Okay, that's great.